Blacklist Hunter here, and today we're going to talk about Gon Freecss and all the times he has impressed different individuals throughout the series. Gon is really a exceptional kid, stated to be a rare 1 in 10 million Nen talent. Furthermore, his ancestor is literally the legend Gon Freecss himself, so it makes sense the whole lineage is full of incredibly strong and talented Nen users, as Gon Freecss is the one who has explored the Dark Continent and is implied to be still alive. Perhaps Gon is the strongest Nen user in all history. The first person Gon impressed was of course Kite in chapter 1 of the manga, because Kite saw the fiery look in Gon's eyes when he tried to protect the fox bear's cub life. He had the same fire in his eyes just like his father Gon Freecss. So Kite was deeply impressed by Gon. He saw Gon is special because he is Jing's son first of all, and he noticed that Gon is well liked by animals, which of course is a trait mentioned by Jing to Kite, which represents a great hunter. I really love this scene between Kite and Gon. Their interaction is what inspired Gon to become a hunter and find his father, so really a wholesome interaction overall. The next person our exceptional genius kid Gon impressed was the captain of the ship. The old man noticed there was going to be a huge storm, but do you know who noticed it as well? Gon Freecss. Yes, Gon not only understood the language of the sea cranes, he also smelled the change in the wind's saltiness. Furthermore, Gon almost predicted in full accuracy the storm's size and force, so this was really impressive of Gon, which surprised the captain, and he noticed the same aura in Gon just like the boss Gon Freecss. So we know the captain really took a liking to Gon and proceeded to teach Gon how to steer a ship and so on, and as we know he even gave him the exact route for the exam location. Gon, man, just leaves deep impressions on people. Even Kurapika was astonished how Gon without a second thought saved Katsuo from falling into the sea, so this made Kurapika follow Gon to the exam location. Kurapika even stated that he is interested to see what Gon is going to do next. A really interesting kid. When the Kiriko appeared, Gon was able to follow the slight shadow of the magical beast Kiriko in the total darkness of the forest, which made Kurapika acknowledge that Gon really is something else, meaning special. Gon's 5 senses have been honed to the max because of growing up in the mountains, so Gon is really athletic plus really sharp. Gon's speed was so impressive while following the Kiriko, the beast was really surprised. Moving on, when the other Kiriko tried to attack Gon with its sharp fangs, our dude Gon in the middle of the night was able to distinguish the face of the Kiriko. The one that Gon hit wasn't this Kiriko which threatened to end Gon's life, but it was the other one. Gon not only noticed the face features were different, he distinguished the voice was more higher pitched, which made the Kiriko really surprised, happy and astonished at how Gon was able to differentiate between the husband and wife of magical beast Kiriko. The Kiriko also stated that it's been ages, a very long time since a human was able to do this, so this tells us that Gon is really special. The next one Gon impressed was actually Killua. When he met Gon for the first time, he asked Gon how old he was, so Gon replied he is 12. So Killua was using a skateboard in the middle of the exam, but just because Gon was there and he was of the same age, it made Killua actually put some effort and run just like Gon without a skateboard of course. The next one Gon really made a impression on, as we know, is the magician Hisoka. So as soon as Hisoka was about to end Leorio's whole career, Gon attacked him with a fishing pole. In reality, we have to understand that Hisoka didn't even notice Gon's attack, so it was a good attack which Hisoka didn't even anticipate, and furthermore it was a damn fishing pole, so Hisoka understood Gon came to help his friend Leorio. And we really have to understand that is a good thing, because Gon shows he is fearless when it comes to protecting his own friends. It's a really respectable and good trait. Hisoka was impressed by Gon's attack and his will to keep on attacking while also being scared for his life. Plus Hisoka is a damn beast at recognizing potential and worthy individuals, so he took a good look at Gon's eyes and realized he has potential. Somebody has to tell Hisoka this isn't your ordinary kid. His great grandfather is the legend of Gon Freecss, so Hisoka has to be careful. This kid is basically royalty. Furthermore, Netero was impressed by Gon. When he challenged Gon and Killua to the ball game and it was Gon's turn to attack, at first Netero thought Gon was just a simple-minded kid, but when Gon attacked and jumped too high, Netero acknowledged that this kid, although appears simple-minded, clearly uses his head, and for a moment there Netero even lowered his guard. So it's funny how even the legend miscalculated in his judgment. What's even more impressive, even after Killua quit the ball game, Gon was determined to make Netero use his right hand. So Gon tried to attack Netero, head-butting his stomach, and Netero realized that if Gon hits him, Gon would split his head open because of his steel abs. Or the other option, if he relaxed his muscles, Netero might get laid out by Gon. So he chose to dodge Gon's attack, and Gon, even though he didn't win the ball game, he was extremely happy he was able to make Netero use his right hand. Netero was so impressed by Gon that he asked the pilot of the ship to fly slower so Gon could get some sleep. So yeah, this kid really makes everyone just like him. Gon is really incredible. In the Trick Tower phase, Gon was so witty that in his candle game with Seto-kan, which by the way, no matter which candle Gon chose, he was going to lose anyway because this guy Seto-kan had rigged everything. So Gon's quick thinking was so impressive, which furthermore shows that Gon, even though he's simple-minded, he is pretty sharp and smart. Gon quickly put the candle down and simply closed the distance in a flash, blowing out Seto-kan's candle, thus winning the game. Even our man, the legend himself, Lipo, stated that Gon is good. So even the legend Lipo, the blacklist hunter, was impressed by Gon. Gon's quick thinking was also what made the team clear the Trick Tower phase. So really, if Gon hadn't thought of choosing the long path, then breaking the wall to the short path, at least two would have failed the Trick Tower phase. So Gon is literally a genius. Gon furthermore proved he is a genius while observing the animals in Zeville Island, observing Poggle on how he attacked his own target, the whole thinking on how to get Hisoka's badge, and all the training Gon did with the fishing pole is really remarkable. That Gon was able to perfect his attack with the fishing pole, plus figure out that he has to attack Hisoka while Hisoka attacks his own target. Furthermore, Gon was so perceptive he noticed the butterflies were attracted to the scent of blood. Gon actually remembered Hisoka was injured after the Trick Tower phase, so Gon actually was so smart he used the hemotropic butterflies to locate Hisoka. Not only that, Gon was able to hide his presence extremely well. His Zetsu was on a whole other level. Hisoka not for a moment noticed his presence. Just take a look at what a phase Hisoka does here, man. After Gon swiftly attacked and took his badge, Hisoka was shook, dumbfounded, surprised at the insane accuracy of Gon and how he waited for the perfect moment to strike Hisoka. Hisoka even stated that Gon's Zetsu hiding his presence, waiting for Hisoka to strike his target so Gon could attack, was truly a work of art. This really shows that Gon is on another level. The way he came up with this strategy and perfectly executed it to the last detail is really impressive. Hisoka described Gon's actions as masterful. Gon also impressed basically everyone while fighting Hanzo. Even though Hanzo was basically torturing him and broke his arm, Gon was able to change the whole mood of the room from a tense atmosphere to a bright one, which is really admirable how he does that, because Gon was in pain and Hanzo was giving his speech on how he is a great ninja and everything, but Gon attacked him, made everyone laugh, even Hisoka himself, because Gon was simply refusing to give up, but at the same time was trying to come up with a better scenario for the fight than simply getting his limbs cut off. So all in all, Gon even impressed Hanzo, because even though Hanzo was putting pain and pressure onto him, Gon didn't once even look him with malice, which really made Hanzo just give up the match and let Gon win. Gon really is a wonderful character, because even when he was in the Zoldyck estate trying to get through Cannery, she was so deeply moved by Gon's stubbornness to see his friend, even though he was being beat up, that Cannery began to cry. So all in all, this kid Gon never gives up, and that is a great trait that is really rare. When Wing unlocked Gon's and Killua's aura, he gave them the instructions on how to keep the aura contained, and Gon just took the best position for 10 in order to contain the aura without even being told so, even Killua of course. That right here is natural talent that Wing described as amazing, but overall terrifying, because these genius kids were able to learn 10 in seconds, which is really unusual. Next, Wing was extremely impressed how Gon during the fight with Giro was able to release his 10 and close the aura nodes, thus activating Zetsu. Wing was like, this is insane, how did Gon learn to master Zetsu when he hasn't even mentioned anything or taught him how to use Zetsu? Wing even states no wonder Gon has so much potential, which furthermore proves Gon is a monster. Even Hisoka himself is seen clenching his fist while observing Gon fighting Giro. After being injured in the fight with Giro, Gon was able to recover from a 4-month injury in less than a month, which made Killua extremely surprised. Also, even Zushi was shocked at how Gon and Killua were able to improve so fast, while it took our boy Zushi weeks to learn. After Gon defeated Giro in an impressive manner, plus even rehaveled, Hisoka was impressed at how Gon won using all kinds of tricks. Plus, Gon's Nen had gotten gotten way more powerful, so Hisoka told Gon he has passed the grade, thus setting the date for their fight. At this point, Gon was mastering the basics of Nen at an incredible rate, and in the next arc, he learns Hatsu. Gon also was able to land a punch on Hisoka during their fight, in which Gon took Hisoka by surprise, hiding in the middle of rubble and smoke, thus returning Hisoka's tag, as the promise was that Hisoka would take the badge only when Gon can punch him in the face just like he did. When Gon and Killua were captured by the Phantom Troop, Nobunaga was so impressed by Gon's power. I mean, Gon basically beat a superior Nen user in arm wrestling. Gon is tough, really, able to overpower Nobunaga while he is angry, of course. Nobunaga really liked Gon's personality so much that he even made a proposal to Gon to join the Phantom Troop. Nobunaga managed to figure out that Gon is a enhancer based on his character, so really Gon is able to gain access to a place in the heart of any person he meets, literally. Before Greed Island, Gon showed his power to Tesgera. Gon literally punched the wall, made a big hole, which made Tesgera think how insanely powerful Gon is, and Tesgera even states that he fears what Gon will grow up to become, so furthermore proving what incredible potential Gon has for the future. After Gon met Biscuit and trained with Binold, Gon thanked Binold for helping them improve. Binold was so moved by Gon and decided to turn himself in, so Biscuit told Gon that Binold is the murderer and basically doesn't deserve that. So Biscuit goes on to state about Gon that he is a flawless specimen and that makes a delicate balance. Gon's character is truly special. He even thanked Binold, even though the dude is a straight up killer, but Gon doesn't care about that. He still thanks him for helping. Biscuit described Gon as a kid with immense resolve and bottomless potential, a diamond, while she described Killua as a sapphire, which means that Gon's potential for growth is even higher than Killua's, which probably means that in the future Gon is probably gonna have the slight advantage over Killua in terms of overall power. Gon, while fighting Razor, was able to build up so much power and aura that he shocked everyone, including Hisoka. It's funny the way Hisoka looks right here. He is thinking, this is what I spared the kid for, to attain this power so I can cook him. When Gon powered up again, Razor actually opened his eyes and took a good look at Gon, stating that Gon is indeed Jing's son because he is a literal monster. So if Razor is impressed, that means Gon really is someone special, just like his father. Gon's craziness in battle is so insane that he sacrificed both of his arms to Genthru in order to kick him in the jaw. The way that Gon is able to come up with various plans mid-battle and totally surprise his opponents furthermore proves that Gon is a genius kid, at least in battle. Genthru was surprised because no sane person would sacrifice both of his arms. And no, Gon was not giving up even after getting injured by Genthru's little flower, furthermore proving that Gon's will is unbreakable. Gon is a whole monster of Nen because when he came face to face with Morel after Morel was testing his resolve, the power that Gon unleashed put such pressure on Morel that he was actually afraid of getting hit by such frightening power. Morel powered up and still was afraid of getting hit by that Janken that Gon unleashed, which shows that Gon's inner potential is insane as proven later in the Chimera Ant arc. Another moment that proves Gon is on a whole other level is that Meleron saw in Gon's eyes frightening potential. When Gon met Meleron, he decided to trust him, and Meleron was surprised at how fast Gon trusted his words, thus telling him to not trust people that easily because they lie. While Gon at this point was more cold, he states that if Meleron is lying, he can kill him without any mercy. Meleron goes on to think that there was a reason he was feeling a chill in his bones, because there was something special about this kid named Gon. His potential is like a bottomless pit, so even Meleron recognized what frightening potential Gon has. And these were the best moments where people were impressed by Gon. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Gon is really something, man, and check out this other video right here, and I'll see you in the next Hunter x Hunter video.